Couple minutes after that.
All right, everyone. Right now we are live for our webinar for application kickoff. I know it just got to 4 o'clock, so we'll go ahead and give it a couple minutes for students to start rolling in. Yep, numbers are going up, 22, 24, going. So we're very excited to be here for you. Just some quick tips. If you have pen and paper in front of you, your phone, there are some QR codes in this PowerPoint, but we do encourage you to write questions down or any concepts or ideas down, because you can always email us afterwards. So give it a couple minutes. I know it's 4 o'clock. Some of y'all just probably got done with class or got home from work or driving home from work. So we're glad you can be here and taking time out. We're at 52 participants. Again, we'll wait like another minute or so. All right, Nicole, you ready to go?
Yep, I'm ready.
Awesome. Okay, so welcome everyone. And we're excited to be here to do our second official webinar for our fall webinar series to help those fall 2021 students out. This is titled the Application Kickoff. My name is Vanessa Lewis and I'm our Outreach and Recruitment Counselor. I'm gonna let my colleague introduce herself.
Yes, my name is Nicole Tefangchen. I'm also Outreach and Recruitment Counselor. And we both went to Cal State Fullerton, actually, fun fact.
Yep.
I graduated in 2016 with my bachelor's degree in communications with an emphasis in public relations.
Awesome. And I graduated with I majored in kinesiology and my concentration was clinical movement science. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and move forward. So just some quick housekeeping. See if I can get it to go. There we go. Some webinar housekeeping. This presentation is being recorded. Right now, all sessions are being recorded and put on the Outreach and Recruitment Department webinar site under the Fall Webinar Series. As you can see, this is our title, and then it will be in this same area. And enter questions in the panelists and read the responses. Some of your questions might be very common, so if they're in the Q&A function, please read through them. They are going to be answered. We have one panelist that is helping us on the back end, and Nicole will help as well. When she's speaking, I'll hop on the back end as well. All attendees are muted, so we cannot hear you or cannot see you. All right, time to get started. So October 1st is here. I don't know about you guys, but that came super fast and we didn't realize around the corner. So October 1st is here. This is the beginning of the Cal State Apply application cycle for fall 2021. For this year only, that it is December 4th through 2020 that it will be completely done. The deadline is that day. So please encourage you to keep in mind, maybe on a phone, on a calendar, write it down somewhere, maybe finish before Thanksgiving comes around. So it's, out of your mind, the stress levels have gone down, and you can go ahead and enjoy the rest of that week. And the website you'll be going to is calstateapply.edu/apply. So some helpful resources for CSU Resources to be more proactive, to be on top of everything, and some tips actually Nicole and I took as we were transferring from our transfer institutions. That'll be very helpful. So looking at CSU Resources, this is the application website again. It's highlighted, hyperlinked. If you would feel comfortable, go ahead and bookmark this website on the URL, and maybe keep it in a folder to label it CSU Apply, so it's right in your face every time you open up your laptop. I also encourage you to navigate and utilize the services on the website. So as you can see, there is a section with a red box around it. There's apply, donate, news, careers, contact, and there's also social media platforms that Cal State University has to continue exposing students to what they're all about. You can think of Cal State Apply as like the bosses of our 23 campuses, right? They make the criteria, we follow them, but we have different policies that fall in line with our CSUs. Next page, we see application dates and deadlines. So these two words right here, dates and deadlines, are very important. Cal State overall is deadline driven and date driven, and that goes the same for Cal State Fullerton, deadline and GPA driven as well. Applicant Health Center. This is where you can get additional resources that are in a PDF form, electronic form. So you can be, it's kind of like a guidance along the way as you're filling out with your application. They were just recently updated. I maybe checked a couple of days ago. They were nicely updated, detailed, and sectioned off into different areas as first-time freshmen, transfer, international students. And we'll see actually a screenshot on the next page. Make sure that you start your application today or after, because if it were to be, let's say, a couple of days ago, the system would be thinking you started in spring 2021. When the case is you want to start fall 2021, so start today or after this date. And on the main website, when you go to Cal State Apply website, if you scroll to the middle of the page, you will see this actual cutout. You will see the application dates and deadlines. You'll see the date October 1st through December 4th. The Applicant Help Center, you can click on that for the guides that I will show you on the next slide. And this is the drop-down list you would see. This is the apply button. It gives you all the terms, and click fall 2021 to get started with your extension profile. So additional resources that you see here, Cal State Apply Applicant Help Center. So I clicked on that link as shown in the previous slide. Click here for quick start information. Click here for customer service. You know, sometimes there's some technical difficulties that do occur in Cal State Apply. You would contact them directly and not the campus directly. Click here to start your application. Any feedback you want to give them, they have links here. In the brackets, you see 2020-2021 cycle for additional links. So freshman coursework entry, transfer coursework entry, transfer academic update guide, transfer application guide, to-dos and don'ts. We actually have those as well in the webinar, international applicant guide and graduate application guide. Remember 2020-2021 cycle. If you have friends right now, family members, they're actually juniors in high school or first year transfer students in the community college level, maybe have them looking at the 2021-2022 cycle. That can be very helpful for them to get, plant the seed in their head that, this is what I want to look at. On that same page, you will see start your Cal State application with links, fill out Cal State application, the history, information and materials needed, how to submit your official test scores, and submitting and monitoring your Cal State Apply. Once you apply, you don't want to just forget about that you did it. You want to make sure you check back on additional resources. Also on the Cal State level, they do have a live chat function on that same page if you have any additional questions. So then for Cal State Resources, we want to make sure that we took screenshots. So then it says for Cal State Apply, once you click on the apply function, it will say, welcome to Cal State University. It'll give you a small paragraph. Please note that create an account on CSU Mentor. You need to create one for Cal State Apply, 2 totally different areas. Make sure it's through this function right here. Then you'll create your account. If you've never created one before, you'll put your username and, you'll click on create account and it'll open up to a entirely different page. You'll enter your first name, last name, email. With the email, please use your personal email that you check on a frequent basis. Do not use your school emails or one that you kind of checked here and there. It has to be one that you check all the time. And as well, on the right side, you'll see that I put a box around the CAS ID. This is just an example as a transfer student, just a total example, but the CAS ID is the application ID number that if you ever need any assistance, they can find in the system very quickly, but always keep this handy with you. And as well, instructions, my profile, extended profile are additional links. If you ever need to fix anything in an extended profile, you can always click that. But once you submit it, there's no other way you can go back and fix the information there. So please be aware you're choosing, the correct fields. And if you want to sign out, of course, it's first, you want to sign out here. Moving forward, once you create your username and your password for your profile, please write it down somewhere. I know we're very handy and tech savvy with our phone, in our notes, screenshotting, keeping our pictures, whatever it is, but please write it in other areas such as your notebook or electronic format. I know I've spoken to students where they have a nice Word document or a Google Doc, and they have the list of institutions that they applied for, whether it's independent colleges, UCs, or Cal States. They do have a title of it, their password, or excuse me, their username and password, and their holds and to-dos and some required documentation they need. So they're very organized, and that'll be a good format to follow. Again, check other institutions and the information in their own emails. When it comes to here, before you begin, have the following items on hand. So for this, we took this picture and this snippet from the first time freshman guide. They're the ones that had the most laid out information. Unofficial transcript, you'll be asked to enter a coursework to fulfill A through G requirements, including courses currently in progress and those you plan to take. So security number, if you do have one, your citizenship status, credit card or PayPal account. Application fees are due at the time of submission. Annual income of your parents if you are dependent, or your own income if you are independent. Your parents' employment background, and 2 recommendations if you are applying for EOP. We will talk briefly about EOP later in this slide. In addition to these, for the community college students, you do want to remember that it's optional to enter your California Community College ID and campus ID. These numbers can be found on your transcript. And also for community college transfer students, as it says unofficial transcripts, this part was just for the first time freshmen. For you, you're gonna enter all the college coursework based on the transcript information as it appears on your transcript. Moving forward, I understand it's October 1st. Many of you already have the idea of what institutions you want to apply for, whether it's local, out of state, whatever it may be. But specifically for Cal State level, we do have a very detailed page on how you explore what majors I'm interested in. Do I want to go to a large campus, small campus? How am I going to pay for college? So if you feel comfortable, totally wait on applying for today. Maybe on this weekend, you can start tackling it. But there are links for you to navigate through on choosing campuses, degrees, getting into the CSU, and paying for college. So feel free to look at those links. Next, we have the Cal State application fee waiver. We have been getting common questions about this. This is at the Cal State level. And as for the 23 campuses, we are listening to the Chancellor's office and what they have to say if there are any criteria changes. As of right now, this is what we have seen on the website with eligibility criteria for fee waivers. Once you're done filling out your application, you add your program, and then it says submit application. You will see that, for example, the person who filled this out only did one. So the total is $70, and check if they have a fee waiver. So you want to click that button right there. When it goes under here, eligibility criteria for fee waivers is an undergraduate student. You cannot be in extension program. Extension programs are a completely separately funded area. They even have some later dates that go surpass December 4th. So that's kind of a cue that's an extension program. So this does not apply to them. A California resident for more than 1 year, a U.S. citizen or someone without lawful immigration status who qualifies for an AB 540 non-resident tuition exception. And the last bullet point, applicants who are eligible for the application fee waiver may apply to up to 4 CSU campuses. Again, not for extension programs, only for CSU campuses only that are funded in the same way for application term fall and spring. If you do want more information, one of our Titan ambassadors took time and the liberty to make a nice video for you all. And the video is actually on our YouTube page. It's about 2 minutes long, very quick. And she went over what the application fee is about, the criteria, and if you have any more questions, who to contact. And our YouTube page will go into that later in the presentation. For CSU admission requirements. So this is a common page we share with many of our PowerPoints. All CSU campuses use the same admissions criteria, but have different policies. So please contact the CSU campus you're interested in applying for and more information. So for example, I understand COVID-19 has made a lot of different changes personally, emotionally, academically, right? So we have to make sure that whatever institution you're going to, again, we have the same minimum admissions criteria, but Cal State Fullerton may have different criteria from Cal State Long Beach, Humboldt, Stanislaus, San Diego State. So whatever institutions you want to go to, please look at their admissions page or even contact their outreach and recruitment department to point in the right direction. So for first-time freshmen, fall 2021, on the left side, you'll see the basics of high school diploma, complete A through G coursework, earn qualifying GPA, A through G GPA, and supplemental factors of the campus. For transfer students, we have good academic standing, 60 transferable units, golden 4 such as oral communication, written communication, mathematics, and quantitative reasoning, and critical thinking. So when you look at your educational plan, you'll see A1, A2, A3, and B4. You meet the GPA cutoff, and an optional area is associate's degree for transfer, and those are completely different from a general AA degree. And again, that'll be more in greater detail later in the PowerPoint. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and hand it off to Nicole to talk about CSU admission requirements.
Thank you so much, Vanessa, for covering all of that. Just to let you know, I have disabled the chat version because we want the questions to come through the Q&A so everyone can see the questions that you're asking, and we can have our panelists answer them for you as well. So we are going to cover now specific admissions requirements for first-time freshmen, and we'll also cover transfer. So let's first go into first-time freshmen. So we just rolled out these new guides, our fall 2021 admission guides, and these are really helpful because it tells you exactly what you need in order to be admissions eligible for Cal State Fullerton as a first-time freshman. And we also have these guides for our transfer students as well. These can be found on the admissions website for Cal State Fullerton. You can download them and you can review the checklists and deadlines. Because Vanessa was mentioning we are a impacted campus, GPA and deadlines are very important to make sure that you're keeping on track, especially with the deadline. So that's why we have these guides available for you to review everything, make sure you are submitting the required admissions materials that you need for the application and for admissions to our university. So as a first-time freshman, you would have to be a high school graduate or equivalent, so a GED is equivalent, and complete A through G coursework, meet the minimum GPA cutoff. And so going into that a bit further, so this includes our California residents and graduates of California high schools must have a 2.5 or greater A through G GPA. So we're looking at the A through G GPA. And non-California residents must have a 3.0 GPA or greater for A through G. And additional requirements would be for our majors in dance, nursing, music, and the bachelor's to MS computer engineering. And so we also indicated that students applying to CSUF will require higher GPAs to be competitive due to impaction. So while the minimum is 2.5 to apply and having all these requirements right here, we highly recommend that our students reach higher than that to be competitive. So just to give you an idea with that.
And Nicole, can you go briefly over the point 3?
Oh, yes, thank you. Good point. So also we have a local area, and we'll show you a chart of where our students that come from our local areas, the schools. And so with our high school local area applicants, they will receive a priority admission preference through an approximate 0.3 A through G boost in their GPA. So for example, if your A through G GPA is a 3.2, you will get your GPA will be boosted to 3.5 because you are in our local area. And I'll show you a chart of what those local schools are. So I believe it is the next slide that we have. Oh, one of the next slides we have. So we'll go over A through G next. So A through G. So with the A through G, as we know it for our high school students, that is your history, social science, 2 years, English, 4 years, math, 3 years, laboratory science, 2 years, a language other than English, 2 years, visual performing arts, 1 year, and a college preparatory elective, 1 year. So all of these courses right here in your A through G, this is where we're basing your GPA from. And a bit more about those additional majors I was talking about. So dance is through our College of Arts. They require a live dance audition and an application. Our music students, they require an entrance audition. So whether you're a singer, they want to see you perform your singing capabilities. And then if you play an instrument, they want to see you perform that as well. That's part of the audition to get into the College of the Arts for music majors. And then for our students who are interested in the Bachelor's of Science to a Master's of Science Computer Engineering program through our College of Engineering Computer Science, they must meet CSU Fullerton GPA requirement for the semester to which you are applying. Priority admission preference again will be given to the local area freshmen for computer engineering integrated BS to MS. They would have a successful completion of all 3 AP test scores of 3, 4, or 5 for a total of 10 semester units. And one of the AP tests must be Mathematics Calculus AB or Mathematics Calculus BC. A score of 4 or 5 is required. And for our nursing students, so our nursing students, it is in addition to meeting the university requirements that we notated for our freshmen, they are doing a holistic approach for fall 2021. So that means that there's going to be an additional application requirement. So this includes they're going to review an essay component to it, letters of recommendation, and an interview with a School of Nursing faculty member. And of course, nursing is all through the School of Nursing. So their website is wonderful. They actually are very clear about what they're looking for, what the process is like. And you can actually meet with an advisor and speak more about the School of Nursing if you're interested in the direct entry to the Bachelor's of Science in Nursing program. And so that local area, which will get that 0.3 boost that I was mentioning, so that's going to be our applicants from high school graduates in the districts of Orange County, Chino, Corona, Norco, Walnut, Whittier, and Alvord. So this is explained very well and thoroughly again on our admissions website. So you can actually go and this is just the districts, but you can actually see exactly which high schools these are. And there's a full list of all of these high schools in alphabetical order on our admissions website. And for our first-time freshman students, we wanted to put this because we mentioned how we're very big on deadlines. So just to give you an idea of what the time frame looks like after you put in your application. So the application would close on December 4th. So it opens October 1st. Today's the first day it opened up. You have through December 4th. It closes on December 4th. And after that, you will get an email from Cal State Apply with confirming that you've submitted your application. And about a week or so within that time frame, you should be getting an email from Cal State Fullerton with your campus-wide ID. We call it a CWID. So you'll get a campus-wide ID, you'll get a PIN, and you'll get a username. So you can access your student portal. So you'll be able to access your student portal and you can see if you have any holds on your student center. This is how the university is going to communicate with you. So they'll be able to say, hey, we actually need your official transcripts now, or we need this information from you, because they're trying to gather as much information that they can to make a admissions decision for you. And so continuing this time frame, you would pay your, if you get an offer of admission in May, you would pay the enrollment deposit. It's a $250 enrollment deposit, and that secures your spot. And then you would continue checking your email because you're going to get information about orientation, because you have to complete orientation where you meet with an advisor, you go over your major, what classes, and they support you through that process. And this is also following down with the trend. They want your official transcripts. So they're going to ask for your official transcripts so they can confirm all those A through G courses, confirm everything that they need to review through our admissions process. And that's just to give you an idea of the time frame. This is straight pulled off of the admissions website. So again, great resource on the admissions website. They have all of this information for you. And some do's and don'ts. So we wanted to put this is straight from the Cal State Apply website. So this lists different do's and don'ts that are common mistakes students would make. So let's go through them. So for example, a do would be, so do review the freshman course entry guide and the fall 2021 first-time freshman guidance to help you fill out your application. So you are not alone in this process. The website is wonderful. They actually have guides for you, step-by-step, how to input those A through G courses, what they're looking for, how to do that. Don't start your application late, because this could be stressful. Say the deadline's approaching December 4th and you are trying to get all your transcripts in order and everything. So don't do that. Do complete your extended profile correctly. So extended profile is also very important, because you want to put that this is your first bachelor's degree that you're pursuing. And everything you fill out in that extended profile is going to set the tone for the rest of the application. So if you make one minor mistake on it, the application is going to think one thing and then start asking you questions that are not really related to your academic plan. So be very careful. A don't would be, don't leave out your progress currently taking high school courses, because we want to measure, because remember, there's the different years that you need for your A through G. So if you're currently in a class that you might not have a grade for at the moment, we want to still see that you are taking that class and you will be completing that course. So that would be for that section. And then a couple more. So when you're ready to submit, review the application carefully, and because you won't be able to make changes. So make sure that everything is, have your parents look it over, have someone you really trust that's maybe gone through this process, like an older sibling, or someone that can kind of look over it with you once more. Maybe reach out to your high school counselors if they're doing virtual type of appointments. And a don't would be, don't just fill out from your memory, like, oh, I took this class and I think I got this. So everything should be on your transcripts. So another thing would be is do review if you are eligible for a fee waiver. So as Vanessa was mentioning, the fee waiver, you can get up to 4 fee waivers. And this is based on the information you're providing on your application. So they're basing it off of the financial information you're inputting based on your parents. If you're a dependent, independent student, you'll get those type of questions asked. So that's how they're going to understand if you might qualify for a waiver. And we also say, don't create it with an email you don't use. It's something you use and you'll be able to check regularly, because this is how the Cal State Apply is going to communicate with you, how Cal State Fullerton is going to communicate with you. And continue reviewing dates and deadlines. Make sure you're not missing. Write down these dates, put it in your phone, whatever you have to do to remember. And also, don't enter high school courses that don't meet A through G. So like a PE class that you took, physical education, anything like that. We're looking just for A through G. So we want to see A through G courses, and because those are admissions requirements, right? So that's how we're basing the GPA off of.
Awesome. Thank you, Nicole. Now we're going to go to transfer students. So just like the first-time freshmen, we do have transfer student guides. Again, it's the same layout, but different information and admissions requirements. Going over Cal State Fullerton, transfer admissions requirements. It does touch on associate's degree for a transfer and what we have a contract with, or what is eligible to transfer from a community college to Cal State Fullerton. In Paction, we also do have the Transfer Center. The Transfer Center is awesome, great representatives filled with great transfer peer advisors. They're there to help you. They have a couple of different services to take advantage of, which we'll go over at the end of the presentation. But remember, there's a certain center that you can always go to. So for CSUF transfer, so to meet the following eligibility requirements is good academic standing, 60 transferable units, 30 units of general education courses, the Golden 4, again, oral communication, written communication, critical thinking, math/quantitative reasoning, A1, A2, A3, and B4. I'll always connect with the community college counselor or a transfer counselor that you've been in communication with to go over your educational plan to make sure that you're fulfilling all the requirements. And lastly, for the optional side, associate's degree for transfer. So we mentioned this before, but in greater detail, associate's degree for transfer is separate from a regular general AA. These come with some benefits of, you can possibly get a 0.1 boost. You can get accepted to the CSU system, so 23 campuses, but it might not be your choice. So you're in the pool of CSU, but maybe depending on impaction, your GPA, making sure you fulfill the major requirements and those general education requirements, they have a system of how they put the students in one of the systems. And also you can graduate in 2 years, but again, always keep in mind, depending on the major you have, may have more units to complete past the 120 units you need to graduate their bachelor's. If you're going to add a minor, if you got a concentration, that may alter your ADT. So please, if you are in progress of one, please make sure that you're on track for it. Again, check with the community college counselor. If there are any changes to it, that might have an effect on your admissions process. So anything before get anything drastic done, please communicate with, we have student success centers in our academic colleges that you can speak with. You can connect with us and we can help you direct to the right person. Everything listed above, all admissions requirements, Golden 4, 60 transferable units, and GPA, and desired ADT requirements need to be completed by the end of spring 2021 for fall 2021. So that's a traditional semester, spring 2021. Please have everything completed then. Really, so now you have to really start thinking, what classes am I going to take? Do I need to sacrifice a winter session, right? I need to get some things done beforehand. So please keep in mind spring 2021 for fall 2021. For fall 2020 GPA cutoffs, local area, which is the Orange County Community College, was 2.8. Out of local area was 3.2. Again, the GPA cutoffs vary every semester. They may change, it might go up, might go down. So our encouragement is to always continue striving for the best grades, GPA, fulfilling those requirements, meeting those deadlines. That's what encompasses a good student to move forward in the higher education system. Majors with additional requirements. First-time freshmen had their own majors additional requirements. These are similar, but the difference is major requirements for transfer students encompasses for criminal justice instead of BS to MS computer science. So criminal justice, again, dance, music, and nursing. To expand on those, for criminal justice to be considered for a priority admission to the criminal justice program, applicants must have criminal justice 100 or equivalent completed with the grade C or better. Applicants that do not have this course requirement or an ADT in administration of justice will be put on the wait list and will be considered for admission based on space availability. Again, for more information, you can always contact us and we can help you, connect with the right person or connect with the Department of Criminal Justice when it comes to that, because they're the experts in the area of what is needed. But you can always refer to our admissions page as well. For dance and music, they're part of College of the Arts, live audition and application for dance, music, interest audition, and for nursing. They have 3 types of pathways that are suited for somebody who's not a first-time freshman. So again, first-time freshmen have their own pathway. Community college students have their own type of pathway. So RN to BSN, that is if a community college student is in progress and enrolled to complete their associate's degree in nursing. Then they want to come to the School of Nursing at Cal State Fullerton to accomplish their Bachelor's of Science in Nursing. So they have certain criteria. There are agreements that Cal State Fullerton does have with Santa Ana, Saddleback, Riverside Community College as well. There's one more, but they do have agreements with them, and it's actually shown on the website for nursing on what classes they're taking, what they need to fulfill, what semester they need to fulfill that in. So that is one option on how to apply for School of Nursing. The second option is traditional BSN, CSUF student pathway. So that means that if, let's say I'm a student and I have the mindset of becoming a nurse, right? But let's say I get accepted for Fullerton. Maybe I'm not sure yet about nursing, so maybe I go into biology area. So let's say I get accepted for fall 2021. So now I'm in my first semester. I really want to stick to nursing. So you're like, you know what? I'm going to apply for the School of Nursing program. Since I'm already a student at the Cal State level at Cal State Fullerton, it'll be a completely separate application. You need to communicate with the School of Nursing. So there's a possibility of filling out the application. But again, you have to be a current student trying to get to School of Nursing. This pathway is a little more difficult to get in. I believe 5 to 10 students do get accepted on this pathway. So any questions for RN to BSN, traditional BSN, please contact nursing. And the last one is called Jumpstart Program. Jumpstart Program is when, again, the student is taking and pursuing their AA degree and associate degree for nursing, but they also want to take courses at Cal State Fullerton to get ahead. And again, there's an agreement a part of it. There are probably eligibility requirements, but every single pathway that I just spoke about, the nursing.fullerton.edu does a tremendous job of keeping their website updated. They have very specific tabs on top to talk to. They actually have a link for information sessions to go to. They're still in the process of making the calendar for it, but they do have that link to notify students, and their general email is nursing@fullerton.edu. So now impaction at Cal State Fullerton. So for local area of the community colleges, local area transfer applicants come from community colleges in Orange County. So Coastline, Cypress, Fullerton, Golden West, Irvine Valley, Orange Coast, Saddleback, Santa Ana, Santo Canyon College. And Cal State Fullerton is actually impacted campus across as a campus and across all majors. For transfer students, for the deadlines, it was updated actually 10/1 of today. And again, they're very similar to first-time freshmen when it comes to deadlines. Again, admissions criteria is different, but October 1st today through December 4th, admissions application deadline. So again, please try to finish that beforehand. February 15th, but February 15th and before that date, you always want to go to your Titan Online and your Student Center to make sure that you complete your to-do list, your holds. And again, this is Cal State Fullerton specific, but if you apply to any other institution, please check their own portal. March 22nd, transfer degree verification, AAT or AST, in progress or completed. That is a teamwork between Cal State Fullerton, the community college you're attending, and yourself. You might have to fill out paperwork and communicate that with your community college counselor. So again, make sure you're staying on top of that. For May 1st, accepting admission and enrollment deposit, which is $250. To add what Nicole was saying was the $250 that secures your spot, that is also going towards your first semester. So it's not just disappearing out of thin air, it is being applied to your first semester. Also, May 1st, check your CSUF email and visit orientation. So Titan Orientation Programs has a beautiful page listing frequently asked questions. They even have pictures of their student and staff members if you want to learn about who they are, their directory. They have step-by-step on what is needed. Right now, the most important one is spring 2021, getting those students ready, but they are in the progress for fall 2021. So go ahead and check their website out, Titan Orientation Programs. As for July 15th, the final official college transcript includes spring 2021 grades and with their transfer degree, if that is where you're completing your AST or AAT. So post-application, we're moving forward now. So let's say you applied, let's say I'm done October 15th with my application. I've received my email from Cal State Apply. I have my CAS ID written on my phone or put in my phone and written down on a piece of paper, posted notes everywhere, whatever it is, how you stay organized. So now what is happening after that? So I just color coded to make sure that you understand what is where. So for emails, again, Cal State application confirmation email, CAS ID is handy. CSUF email, your CWIT, campus-wide ID, your username, and your PIN are going to be given to you. So if you see the picture on the bottom, it's just an example of how it looks. And then what if I've never received an email? So sometimes it gets lost in the spam, or maybe the email you've used, you've maybe deleted it, or something may have happened. There's also another way to find that information out. And the next slide, I will go over that. For Cal State Fullerton Student Portal, that is where the main source of communication is going to occur. You can log in with the credentials, credential meaning username and PIN, and that's when you create your password. And the Student Center is where the holds, to-dos, financial information, you'll find the button to accept or decline your offer, orientation, that's like a hub of everything you need to know in the process of potentially being accepted into Cal State Fullerton. So let's say that I got my PIN, I have my username, my PIN, and my password done. You would click on, this is the website, so fullerton.edu, and then you would see on that website, right in near the top left corner, you will see a student portal button. Now we're gonna put our username. This is just an example. Type in the Titan, their password, and remember, it has to be secure, meet certain criteria, make sure it's maybe not something you use all the time, maybe make one up specifically for Cal State Fullerton. And then on the bottom, you will see first-time student applicant. So you want to create your account. So now when you go over here, the reason why I put this slide, or excuse me, I put this screenshot in is because sometimes students don't receive it or misplaced it, or something might have happened to their email. So another way to find your CWID is clicking this link, and you have to fill out certain fields. So maybe a social security number, your first name, last name, and for your PIN, the same thing. If you don't have a social security number, you might have to actually contact the Office of Admissions to maybe resend your email or find it over the phone. If it's confidential reasons, they may have to do another method. But make sure that, you know, just because you didn't receive it, don't wait till the last minute of like the last week that, you know, February is coming around 2021. Do not wait till last minute, because remember, everything takes time to get through. So please be ahead of the game. CSU post application. So again, this is your student center. Again, is at this screenshot. So above is what you would see on your end. You'll see right here an elephant, so that's Tuffy. It will actually say your name right here. So for example, say Vanessa or say Nicole. And once you click on Tuffy, you actually would get, once you click on there, it'll give you more information on how your email looks, the email information, and actually your CWID. So if you always forget, always click on Tuffy. The Student Center, again, that's the hub. And then on the top corner right here, you have a home button to always refresh to the home page. And then also your emails. So then if I click on Student Center, it will take me to this area. Student name, your ID number, and then you'll see academics, my class schedule, shopping cart. You won't get there yet. You have to make sure you go through orientation and pick your classes for fall 2021. And then when you go down to section B, that is your financial aid information. Again, we are talking about Cal State Apply, but remember, financial aid applications did open up today. That'll be another application you need to get done before March 2nd. So section B will let you know how your status looks. You'll find that out maybe in the summer before you start in the fall semester. Section A and D, this is your hold and to-dos. Again, main source of communication we have for our students. So please always look in there. They might ask for your unofficial transcript, might ask for additional documentation for financial aid, whatever it is, this is a source of communication. Also want to highlight, you see this little marking right here, it says details or it says more. Please click those links. I know it can be very easily missed, but if you click those links, it will tell you how to submit the information, who to call for more information as well. So again, emails, to-dos, and holds are the main source of communication through the Student Center. All right, so now I'm going to pass it to Nicole.
Thank you so much, Vanessa. I just wanted to make a quick note. I know we keep getting a couple questions in the chat about, oh, if I want to be a dermatologist, what should I major in? Or if I want to be a doctor, what should I major in? Really great questions. I would recommend looking at maybe the College of Natural Sciences and Mathematics, or looking at different, get an idea of our different 8 academic colleges and look at the different majors that they have. Because typically if you want to become a doctor, you don't necessarily have to major in the sciences or anything like that. It's going to medical school after. So that's why I answered some of your questions and I said, oh, that could be a question for an academic advisor or a career specialist within our career center. So really good questions, but get familiar with our academic colleges, and then you'll have that additional guidance on career outlooks once you meet with those different individuals that can support you with that. So just
awesome. Yeah, and I know that just to kind of go off where you're saying, we get the questions of, I want to become a lawyer, like dermatologist, medical, that we don't have the specifics of the degrees of those, right? Because they're like doctorate level, but sometimes we have associations and advisors on campus that specialize in that. So like political science society is for like lawyers. But again, always email us at CSUFOR, and maybe we can find it for you or direct the question to somebody else that may know.
Yeah, thank you.
Awesome.
So now we're going to highlight our campus. So highlight Cal State Fullerton and just a bit about us. So we are the leading campus of the CSU. We are Intellectual and Cultural Center for Southern California and driver of workforce and economic development. So we are an emerging national model for supporting student success through innovative, high-impact educational and co-curricular experiences, including faculty-student collaborative research. So I'll provide some examples for you of what that means. And so a bit about more, I know we had some questions about EOP that came through. That's why we wanted to put this slide up here. So with, these are the different populations that we also serve, right? So students who who are interested in EOP, which provides additional service, support, mentorship, they have their own website. So there's information about EOP through the general CSU website where you'd go for Cal State Apply. And then there's specific information from EOP through Cal State Fullerton. So these are the links we wanted to put in. We really encourage you to read through them, get more information through there. You can actually send email and inquire more about it through the website through Cal State Fullerton. And then we also had some questions come through about our students who might qualify for AB 540 students. So these are our students who have been, the breakdown of it would be our students who attended a California high school for at least 3 years or at least 3 full years K through 12. So these students are our students who qualify for, might not qualify for the FAFSA, but they'll qualify for the California DREAM Act. So if you're familiar with that, also known as our DACA students, right? So our students, if you want more information about it, we have a Titan Dreamers Resource Center, and we have all information about that we've put down. Our financial aid website will talk more about it. Our Cal State Apply website will provide information for our students who meet the AB 540 criteria as well. And also information for our international students. I saw a couple questions come through in the chat about, oh, I'm an international student or I'm a foreign student, where do I go? So we actually have an international, it's through our extension program. So we have an international office. So they have their admissions, they will explain to you the admissions that you need, what documentation you might need for your application and what to expect. So they will help you with that. We also have resources for our students who are veterans or military connected. So families, students, so they have their own resources as well through the Cal State Apply website, through our Veterans Resource Center on campus. So really great resources. If you meet any of these populations right here, there's support for you, most definitely. So please look at these links, take a picture of it, visit the pages, and reach out to those people that work in those centers because they are specialists in those centers and they will be able to answer any questions you have. So just wanted to highlight that as well. And campus resources. So going back to the mission of Cal State Fullerton, right? How we really embrace that co-curricular experiences. We really embrace diversity on our campus as well. That's why we have something called diversity initiatives and resource centers. So these are different centers that we have on our campus. We have an African American Resource Center. We have an Asian Pacific American, Latinx Resource Center, Titan Dreamers Resource Center, LGBTQ. So we have it pretty much whatever you're interested in, even if you don't meet those, you know, populations, or if you don't identify with those populations, all students are welcome. So these are, it's a way for our students to engage in workshops and trainings and just to get more familiar with those type of topics that these, you know, populations deal with, and just to get more familiar with that. So if you are interested, Dirk is wonderful. They, it's a great center and just a great place to make friends as well, I think. And they're doing a lot of wonderful virtual programming too. We also have something called You at Fullerton. So this is new that launched. It is a platform, a virtual platform where you can get support. They break it down into Succeed, Thrive, and Matter. So they want you to make sure that you're succeeding academically, your mental health is doing well, and you're building community. So back to that co-curricular. So they have a lot of great resources on there, on the platform. There's an app, I believe. You can also download the app and you can review, right? I believe so, right, Vanessa? They have an app. Yeah, and you can download the app and you can just get updates and resources of what centers and programs on campus that might be tailored to your needs as a student, because we want to make sure all of our students are thriving. And then we have 350 clubs and organizations. So again, our clubs and organizations through our student life and leadership, they've actually all gone virtual too. So they're having, we just had Club Rush, for example. So Club Rush was for our students to find out all about all of our clubs. So whether it's like a social, cultural, academic club, we have that every year. So I highly recommend getting involved in a club just so you can make friends, even in this space right now that we're in. It's really nice to do that. So yeah, there's over 350 clubs and organizations. And then we have our housing and residential engagement. So if you are a student that is interested in possibly living on campus, or if you are a transfer student that wants to live in the campuses that are well, they're not dorms, but the off-campus living that's associated with House Lake Fullerton, you can actually reach out and get more information through our housing and residential engagement. They are also available to answer any questions you have. Is there anything that you might have wanted to add to that, Vanessa?
With the clubs and organizations, another name for it is also Discover Fest.
Discover Fest, thank you.
Yeah.
And then the Career Center, which we talked about a bit. So we have our Career Center as well to help you out. And we will cover, do you want to cover the certain campus tours? And
yeah, no problem. Yes. So with this one, go ahead and take out your phones. Our guests, take out your phones, take a picture of the QR codes. You can bookmark it on your phone if you feel comfortable doing so, or we also have the website links on the bottom. So campus tours and transfer center are part of our department, the outreach and recruitment. And the best thing about these two departments is that we are here live, like in your face right here. We're not, a computer program type of services where you're always answering on email. We do have different methods. So for example, campus tours, if you've never actually been on our campus, that is where a place to start. So we actually have a virtual tour that launched in great timing when it came to COVID-19 situation. But in addition to that service, we have our Titan ambassadors that go ahead and go through the tour with you, and they explain what you are seeing. And with some areas of campuses, you can walk in the building, virtually see a 360 view. And again, Titan ambassadors, they run all the services. You're talking to a student and a person who's working on campus. So please pick their brain on what major they have, what best experiences that they have. Are they commuter students that are really involved on campus? But I'm telling you right now, all these Titan ambassadors are always involved, trying to make a huge difference in their educational journey. With also campus tours, we have Zoom webinars, they're called daily tours, and they actually go over the virtual map that is controlled by the Titan ambassadors, and they give you a PowerPoint presentation. Academic college tours are a Zoom meeting, so just like Nicole and I, you can see our faces. If it were a Zoom meeting, you can see our faces and communicate through chat. We have Google Hangouts, which are 25 minutes long. You can schedule it, and you'll get an email beforehand. Click on the email and it'll pop up. And then also we also do group tours. If a community college or a high school group wants to request that, you can. And also we have a live help now, which is actually on our outreach and recruitment website. If you go to our website, again, on the bottom, fullerton.edu/OR, there will be a light blue comment box on the side, on the right middle side, and it will pop up saying, do you want to chat with us? That is a function 9 through 5 p.m. and that's Monday through Friday, where you can ask general questions. As for Transfer Center, this is mostly for the transfer population, but anyone is welcomed. They have a nice, big, huge blue button on their transfer website. Once you click on it, it will go through Calendly, and you can set up a 20-minute appointment with a transfer peer advisor. So Titan Ambassador, transfer peer advisors are students who are taking courses right now online, and they're also workers. And so they go through those 20-minute transfer appointments. There's maybe 6+ time slots you can go through each day, and you can always make an appointment with them. And also for the Zoom webinars, they occur every Thursday at 3:30 with a virtual tour and a PowerPoint to go over more information. So please join them. And again, scan the QR codes, and we also have the websites available.
Thank you so much for covering all of that. As you can tell, lots of services that we've rolled out when we had to go virtual in March. So all of us are still here. We're still here virtually. We're answering emails. We're hosting webinars. We have that Q&A and different appointment times you can have with our student staff as well, in addition to being with us. So I will talk about our financial aid. So with financial aid, the application opens up October 1st through March 2nd. So this is the priority deadline. And this is for our 2021-2022 application. And so the website would be through fullerton.edu, financial aid, and they also have an Instagram at CSUF_Office of Financial Aid, which I actually really like their Instagram because they do Instagram live and they do questions, like you can actually ask questions in the Instagram live. So they are always doing, they just rolled out for their webinar series that's coming up. So they had one today, for example, from 10 to 12. They have October 2nd, October 6th, October 7th, they'll have webinars as well. And they have their website's really nice because they update it weekly. So they gather all of the top questions that they got last week and they'll post it up on their website. So common questions students are asking, that's very timely and that they keep seeing. So they'll have all answers to them. So they update this weekly, which is really nice. And so you're able to, they have their office hours, so you can contact them through their website as well. So lots of support. I know we get a lot of questions with the California Dream Act and what is the eligibility for California Dream Act versus the eligibility for the FAFSA, which is federal financial aid, which is California Dream Act is state aid. So there's different types. So just know that they're here to support you as well. And they're doing webinars to really thoroughly go through all of this. And then if you want to take a picture of this or open up your camera, the QR code should take you straight to our webinar series. So our webinar series, this is the first one. So thank you all for being here. We really appreciate you tuning in. I know it's later in the evening and we just appreciate you being here. So the upcoming ones will be, we'll go to the next slide so we can actually show you a screenshot of what we have. So if you look at our, this is our YouTube on the left. So that's our YouTube channel that we've launched for you all. So we've recorded webinars just like this, that this webinar also today will be on there uploaded after. So you can go back and watch this or watch the different quadrants for the Cal State Apply. I'm also going to be posting all those on our Instagram, CSUF Outreach. We have CSUF Transfer. That's our transfer center Instagram. They're really good about posting updates as well to keep you on track. So follow us on social media, follow our YouTube page so you can rewatch all these videos and get help, take notes. And then we also have our fall webinar series. So as you can see today was our first one was CSUF application kickoff. And then we also have the Cal State Apply workshop on October 10th. And then we have the nursing. I know I saw a couple questions about nursing. So we actually have a webinar specific all about nursing. So that's going to be on October 15th at 3:30. And then we also have admissions information in Spanish. So if you want your parents, maybe if your parents speak Spanish fluently and you want them to really get all this info as well, that's going to be all in Spanish for you. And then FAFSA, California Dream Act kickoff. So, and then also in Spanish. So please review all of this. I can talk all about it all day, but please review all of this on our website and you can just click the links and it'll be a Zoom sign up, Zoom, just like today, just like how you did it today. So all of those are available for you as well, and they'll be recorded and posted on our YouTube. And some more reminders. So the university has actually a coronavirus information page, and they're always updating the campus and the community about coronavirus and what that means for Cal State Fullerton. So please check that out. We also have a Titan one-stop shop. So this is a really good website that has all of admissions, financial aid, and different departments that you should know about as a student or an incoming student. We also have, Cal State Fullerton has virtual services. So this website shows you all of the virtual services that are available to our students, different programs, different departments, and what they're doing virtually, and our housing and residential engagement. There's a lot of information on there that we don't have enough time to really cover right now, so please check out their website as well and get more information. We thought these were very important resources for you. And then last but not least, last slide, you made it to the end. So we have additional resources. We put phone numbers for you. We put emails for you. We broke down very important departments that we feel like you should know as a freshman. Some might apply more for freshman students, and then transfer center, of course, for a transfer. But this is how to get in touch with us. If you have more questions, we have a QR code here as well. It's a virtual interest card. So you can just take a picture of that, fill out more information, and we'll get back to you. If you want to send us an email after this, it's csufor@fullerton.edu. And of course, our website has all of this information. The outreach and recruitment, CSUF outreach and recruitment, just type that in and it'll take you to our website. And That concludes. Is there anything else you wanted to add, Vanessa?
No, I think we're good. I know I see there's some blinking questions in there. I believe Eloisa has been doing, and other people on the back end have done a great job answering them. Don't worry. It's okay if we didn't get to answering it live. Always feel free to just email us at csufor@fullerton.edu, and we'll be happy to answer questions for you, put you in the right direction. Again, don't stress out. This is just one of the many webinars we're going to have, but we appreciate you taking time out of your day to come talk to us, being proactive, and just being ready to go, right? But I greatly appreciate it. Nicole, anything else?
That's all. And thank you. We have I see we had our other counselor helping us out, our outreach and recruitment counselor. So shout out to Eloisa for answering all of those questions. We got about, now how many questions? Oh, 50 questions were answered. So thank you, Eloisa,
Nice.
with that. So we appreciate you all for being here, and reach out to us. You know where to find us. Follow us on social media, and we'll hopefully get to meet you all soon. Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you. Bye, everyone.
Bye.